Those traveling to these locations should take precautions, as the dangers they might encounter will not only ruin their holiday, but even endanger their lives. Here are the 8 most dangerous ports in the world. Number 8. St. Lucia. St. Lucia, located in the Eastern Caribbean, is reportedly one of the cruise destinations most preferred by travelers. However, it seems that the island is more dangerous than local tourism officials like to admit. As the British government states, there have been incidents of crime including murder, armed robbery, and sexual assault. On April 12, 2013, 55 Celebrity Eclipse Cruise passengers and 2 crew members were allegedly robbed at gunpoint by 3 men while visiting the Botanical Gardens in Sofier, St. Lucia. In January 2014, an elderly British tourist named Roger Pratt was reportedly killed in his yacht while defending his spouse, Margaret, from 3 armed robbers. His dead body was later found floating around the yacht by his 60-year-old wife. Officers received information that 3 armed men had boarded the vessel, attacked and injured the occupants before they fled. Within minutes of the robbers fleeing, Margaret went in search of her husband and found him floating in the nearby waters, a St. Lucia police spokesman said. The murder took place in the commercial port of Vieux Fort on the south of the island. Furthermore, while there is a low threat of terrorism, UK health authorities have classified St. Lucia as having a risk of Zika virus transmission, as stated by the UK government on September 29, 2016. However, terrorism, criminality, and even viruses are not the sole enemies of cruise travelers. Sometimes, the cruise ships, especially the smaller ones, may not even reach the port because of hazards in the water. Shipping containers are reportedly often lost overboard due to storms and bad weather, and while some of them sink right away, other containers drift away for months following the currents. One of the many consequences of them falling in the sea or ocean is that their cargo could damage the ecosystem. Also, they are a real danger to yachts and small ships. In 2006, a 42-foot yacht named Moquini was reportedly found floating upside down, 500 miles off the southwestern coast of South Africa. Its designer, Alex Simonis, blamed a floating shipping container for the sinking. According to a recent study conducted by the World Shipping Council, up to 10,000 containers are lost every year. However, the industry does not seem to care about the damage they cause, believes John Fossey, editorial director of Containerization International. The industry doesn't believe this is a big issue. Of much greater concern to them is what's in the lost containers. Number 7. Venezuela. The Venezuelan ports are not at all recommended for cruise travelers. Venezuela is reportedly one of the 25 most dangerous countries in the world and one of the deadliest. Its criminality is rated as critical by the State Department. The CIA's website notes there is significant narcotics-related money laundering activity, especially along the border with Colombia on Margarita Island. Furthermore, on February 7, 2014, a gunman allegedly shot dead a German tourist during an attempted robbery on Margarita Island. The victim had gone ashore from the Ada Luna cruise ship owned by Carnival. The man was killed while he was in a tourist shop located in a shopping center. However, robbery is not the only risk tourists in Venezuela's ports are vulnerable to. The country is long known for political differences with the United States, which exposes cruise ship passengers to human trafficking and the narcotic trade. On August 7, 2016, the Department of State issued a travel warning for U.S. citizens concerning Venezuela's high criminality. Armed robberies and street crimes take place throughout Caracas and other cities, including in areas generally presumed safe and frequented by tourists. Heavily armed criminals are known to use grenades and assault rifles to commit crimes at banks, shopping malls, public transportation stations, and universities. Criminals may take advantage of power outages to target victims when lights and security alarms are non-functional. Number 6. The Ports of Antigua. Antigua, an island located in the West Indies, is rich in ports and harbors. Travelers often visit its capital and chief port, St. John's, by cruise ship. Although it is seen as a Caribbean paradise, as described by travel writers and cruise bloggers who accept to hide the ugly side of ports in exchange for free perks, Antigua is reportedly one of the most impoverished islands in the area. Criminality is at high rates, and tourists often fall victim to thieves and murderers. Furthermore, the murder rate per head of population in Antigua is reportedly 3 times more than that of New York. One of the most covered murders in the international media occurred on July 27, 2008. British Irish Ben and Catherine Mulaney, who had gotten married on July 12th at St. John's Evangelist Church in Silibebel, were on a honeymoon in Jolly Harbor, Antigua. It was on their last night when they were executed in their hotel room. Catherine died on the spot, while Ben slipped in a coma, and his life support machine was switched off on August 3rd. On August 18th, after the investigations of the Antigua authorities, 17-year-old Avi Howell and 20-year-old Keneal Martin were charged with the murders. It took 2 more years for them to be deemed guilty by the jury on July 27, 2011. Number 5. Haifa, Eilat, and Ashdod, Israel. The Haifa, Eilat, and Ashdod ports in Israel are in proximity to conflict zones. Ashdod is only 18 miles from Gaza, while Haifa lies 87 miles from the border with Lebanon. The political and military tensions in the area make the ports unsafe for visitors. On August 23, 2016, the State Department issued a travel warning for Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. U.S. citizens should exercise caution and remain aware of their surroundings when traveling to areas where there are heightened tensions and security risks. The government of Israel and the Palestinian authorities both make considerable efforts to police major tourist attractions and ensure security, particularly in areas where foreigners frequently travel, it is stated in the warning. One of the most recent notorious incidents in Israel took place in July 2014, when rocket shrapnel reportedly landed on the deck of the German cruise ship Ada Diva, which was at that time leaving Ashdod. Number 4. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Although Rio de Janeiro is a real tourist attraction for foreigners visiting Brazil, it is notoriously dangerous. It is not only the original breeding ground for the Zika virus outbreak, but also known for its high crime level. Tourists are often robbed by thieves that usually run rampant on beaches and on the streets of the city. The waters are highly polluted and infected with bacteria, and visitors are warned to stay away from the ocean. Also, the city is full of slums and favelas, which travelers in the area are strongly advised to avoid. Only a month before the Rio Olympics in June 2016, the crew members of the Azamara Journey cruise ship were horrified to see a dead body floating in the water close to the port. Number 3. Aden, Yemen. Aden Gulf in Yemen has one of the most dangerous ports in the world. It is home for piracy, and security has deteriorated in the past years, as Yemen is still at war and the government is fighting with terrorist groups Al-Qaeda, Islamic State, and Houthi rebels. The waters of the coast of Somalia are so dangerous that ship captains allegedly turn off the exterior lights and also the GPS broadcasts while sailing in the area. Furthermore, the port city has been recently targeted by terrorists. On April 12, 2016, 4 people died and another 7 were injured in an explosion claimed by ISIS, targeting young army recruits. Later this year, on July 6th, 10 people died in a terror attack after a suicide bomber blew himself up near Aden International Airport. On August 24th, 54 people were killed by a suicide bomber, while 67 others were wounded. The health minister of Yemen, Kader Laswar, reportedly referred to the bombing as one of the deadliest attacks claimed by the Islamic State in the area. Number 2. Nassau, Bahamas. Nassau is reportedly the most dangerous of the ports in the Bahamas and has one of the highest criminality rates in the Caribbean. Tourists that step off the cruise ship in Nassau are vulnerable to armed robberies, sexual assault, murders, and drug trafficking. We receive more complaints about crime in Nassau than all of the other ports in the Caribbean combined, reportedly stated Jim Walker, a maritime lawyer who has investigated the most dangerous ports of call for travelers. On November 22, 2016, in one of the most recent murder cases in Nassau, a 25-year-old woman was allegedly beat to death with a hammer over a dispute for payment for sex. Her body was found a day later by locals who alerted the police. The authorities identified suspect Rafael Dioyeg, 36, who had allegedly met her on Craigslist and invited her into his apartment. After the encounter, he supposedly killed her and moved her body to a grassy area near a pizzeria. Oyeg is charged with second-degree murder, to which he has pleaded not guilty. The suspect was ordered held without bail. However, most rape and murder cases in Nassau often remain unsolved. Number 1. Honduras. Honduras, an independent country located in Central America, was declared the #1 destination for homicides by the UN. On August 4, 2016, the U.S. State Department sent out a travel warning for U.S. citizens, stating that the level of kidnapping, crime, and violence in Honduras remains critically high. A similar travel warning had been previously issued back in October 2015. Since 2010, the port has had one of the highest murder rates in the world. In March 2014, several tourists and cruise visitors were assaulted, robbed, and terrorized. They assaulted me, then robbed me, holding a knife to my neck. I heard them discussing kidnapping me for a ransom or selling me to a slave market to be taken out by boat. I got away when another tourist group drove by with several guys in the car. They saved my life. No one should go to this godforsaken island, reportedly said a woman that was visiting Roatan at that time, whose identity remained anonymous. Not only tourists are in danger when traveling to Honduras, but also cruise ship staff. On April 6, 2014, a Norwegian cruise line crew member was shot and killed at the Bay Island of Roatan, located in Honduras, in a suspected robbery. Rapes are also frequent in the area, and they even represent a danger for the locals. It is noted in the travel warning issued by the U.S. State Department, sexual assault is a concern in Honduras. Most Honduran local police and medical staff do not have the capacity to properly investigate, handle evidence collection, and/or provide medical care for the sexual assault victims. The Titanoboa is the largest genus of snake ever discovered, with an estimated weight of 2,500 pounds and a length of almost 50 feet. Upon its discovery, it was believed that the Titanoboa was an apex predator of the Paleogene epoch, inhabiting Earth's tropical regions approximately 50 to 60 million years ago. However, later analysis indicated that the snake was mainly piscivorous, meaning that its diet consisted mostly of fish.